Hello, welcome to our video. We're going to show you our currency map and strength indicator. So let's put it onto the chart. We'll just show you with just the default inputs where it's going to show you what we call the currency map. And what it's doing, it's going and looking at all 28 currency pairs and actually calculating values for the particular currencies behind those currency pairs. So when you first add it to the chart, do give it about 10, 20, maybe 30 seconds to just gather all of that data, and then it should stabilize. And what we've got here is lines for each particular currency. We've got a ledger there just showing you which color is for which currency. So it doesn't really matter what symbol chart you're on, just really the time frames. This is going to be the map for the 1 hour time frame, and you can actually have it on different time frames as well. Let's go back to the 1 hour. And what we're looking for is a change of direction, ideally where it's been like in either the oversold area, which is the 25, or the overbought area, 75. And we can see here we've got a really nice change of direction in the pound, and we do alert actually when there has been a change of direction. And then what we need to do is to pair it with another currency that's moving in the opposite direction. So that's what we're looking for, is two currencies moving in the opposite direction. And we can see we've got the Japanese yen, which is this orange line there. You can see Japanese yen, and that's coming down nicely when the pound is going up. So if you actually look at that pound Jap currency pair there and just have a look at the price action, and we can just see we've got a really nice, we'd have a nice entry round about here, and then it's a really nice sort of almost 300 pip move, 3,000 points. So it's just really useful for knowing what symbols to trade and also what direction. Because even if you've got a fully automatic strategy, you still need to know what currency pairs to trade and what time frames as well. And this is what the map can do for you. Once a day you can just look at the map and just decide in what currency pairs you ought to be trading and what direction. And if the map gets all a bit squidgy where there's not very many lines moving too well, then that's probably a good idea to stay out of the market, at least on that time frame. And just one little caveat is just make sure that you don't be tempted to trade some really obscure currency pairs. So imagine the Swiss was moving well and the New Zealand. The last thing you want to do is trade that currency pair, because you have a really high spread and the actual pip movement might not be as much. So always look for like big ticket items like the euro, the pound, the dollar, and then pair it with another currency which can be a more minor currency in the opposite direction, like the Canadian, Swiss, and so on. Now what we've also got is something called the currency strength. So if we add it to the chart again, but this time we're going to change this input. It's called display mode, and we're going to go for strength, all currencies. So if we add that to the chart, then it's similar information, but what it's looking at though differently is the strength of the move. So the map shows you the direction of the move, and then the strength is actually how strong it's moving in that direction. Now you can see that's quite hard to read when we've got all the currencies there. It's just because it moves a little bit faster, a little bit harder to read. So what we really recommend doing is to have the strength showing on each of your charts. So you've got each of your currency pairs open. We've got a special mode where we can still display the strength, but just for the currency pairs that relate to the chart. So now we're just showing it for that pound Japanese pair. So we can just bring this down a little bit now, just give us a bit more room. So what we've got now, we've got like the base currency, which is shown in blue, so that's going to be your pound, and then the counter currency, which is the second one, is going to be in the magenta colour. And then we've got a histogram which just very clearly just tells you what the strength is and also what direction. So what we're looking for really is a value over 25. So we see here we've got it where it's gone over 25. We do an alert actually when it goes over 25. You can configure the level, but we think 25 is about the right level. That gives you a nice confirmation really. So by all means the map's great, but it's just nice to have that confirmation of the strength. And finally, just to let you know what you can do with the map, so say you've got all your different currency pairs open, is it's also possible to change to just show the map just for the chart currencies as well, so you can do that. And again, it's just showing you the base value as the cyan colour, and then the magenta for your counter currency. And what it's looking at there in the histogram is the angle of the line. So what we really want is a nice angle, and it looks like the overall result of the slopes there. So if one's going up, one's going down, that's going to give you the highest value there. Now the final big thing to show you is we've made it compatible with our Windows application that we've got, and it's available on our website. If you go to runwisefx.com/app, we've got a download link there. It's normally used to control our EAs, but it's available to use with this indicator as well. There's no extra charge for the Windows app. We've got a view menu there. If you select this currency map create, what it's going to do, rather than you having to keep flicking to your chart, is you can have a separate window. And if you've got your multi-monitor set up, then what you can do is have that on a separate monitor, and you can open up more than one as well because you've got the different time frames. So let's just get that up there. So we've got so you can have that then on the 1 hour. And what you can do is we've got like a save desktop. So once you've set everything up nicely on your multi-monitor setup, it'll then be able to restore back to that. So what we've got is the same information but drawn nicely in a separate window. The one extra thing we've been able to do is to put on some numbers for the slope, so you can just see if that slope is gathering momentum, because that's really helpful if it is. If it's like an inverted colour, that means the slope is going down, and the bigger the number, the bigger the slope. And a regularly coloured means it's sloping upwards. So as mentioned before, you're just trying to use currency pairs where they're going in opposite directions. So this is really good as a general sort of manual check once a day, as mentioned, where you're just deciding what currency pairs to trade and what direction and what time frame. And then the strength we've got also available. We've got currency strength show. Now we just put that all in one window because we can do the separate time frames just in separate columns. We've ordered it with the stronger currencies on top and the weaker ones at the bottom. So as mentioned before, you want to pair strong with weak, and that value that I mentioned, that 25, that's the difference of these two numbers. So that if you trade when that's gone above 25, that'll give you a nice kind of strength, because that means there'll be a nice gap between the two currencies. We do have an alert back in our indicator when it's gone over the 25, but we really think automating the strength is the best way. If you go to our website in the library section, you go to the custom indicator settings, just scroll down to our RunwiseFX, we've got it there, currency strength, where it will look and just check and trade when it's above 25, and obviously you can add in your other indicators as well as a bit of extra confirmation. So hopefully that should give you a really nice system. You've got that real helpful guidance on what you should be trading in general terms from the map, and then the strength is something which is more specific to a particular currency pair and can be incorporated in a more of an automated strategy. Oh, just to say, for the Windows app to work, you do need to have the indicator running, obviously on MetaTrader. So what you want is just for each time frame, so you don't need to do it for each symbol, but just for each time frame, you need the map running all currencies, and then the strength, you want that also running on all currencies, and that will send the necessary information then up to the Windows app. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, please do email us at support@runwisefx.com.